So how do you see the future of IT in a tough environment?
Environments are never tough for IT. As long as you bring value back to the business, IT will always be in demand. So, yes, there would be pressures to reduce costs, which you would, irrespective whether the environment is tough or the environment is relaxed, you'll always have these pressures because the job is to optimize. But the catch is to pick up the right projects that have a big bang on the business. And as long as you have a capability of to pick those sets of projects up and work, you can always show very, very fair value back to business in terms of quantitative as well as qualitative improvements in business that can happen. And the tougher the environment, the more those sets of initiatives are needed. So actually it's a boon for IT if the environments are tough.
And what, according to you, are the new technologies that will shape the future of IT?
I think a lot has been said and read about this in terms of what are the new technologies that are coming. We have recently started seeing traction of mobility in our business environment. It was after the hype and the curve that happened in the last possibly 3 years back when it started and mobility was a big buzzword. Corporates have now started adopting mobility in a big way. Apollo Tyres is no different, and we have all our sales force today equipped with iPads and things like that. And they do everything while on the move. They don't have a need to come to office. RFID is something that we have used very, very less in all supply chains internally within the, and this is primarily to do with costs of RFIDs and things like that. We are desperate for the cost to mature because there are hundreds of applications that I can deploy RFID on to be very, very effective tool for the future. A lot of things are being said around big data now. I think we are still yet to see a reasonably well in a successful deployment of big data technology in the environmental space. There are 10 to 12 case studies, and that's all that I have read, which are really successful. So it still needs an adoption. And cloud has been talked about so I don't want to go after repeated things which have already been hyped and said a lot about. It's about a balance that you do between what you have and what you want to do and what is the right technology that you can bring it, because it's always contextual to the organization that you work with and the state of technology that's there within the organization at that point of time. If I was an SME, I would have said go for cloud and deploy everything on the cloud. But if you're an established manufacturing organization, then you have a lot of things that are internal and you can't really port them out. So it's a mix. I'm very clear that mobility would go much forward than what it has done today, and it will really change the business processes that run within the organizations today. So that's one thing that we are betting very, very big on.
And sir, how are these technologies being used to deliver more with less?
Exactly the same point that I was mentioning earlier. For example, today when a sales guy goes and makes a call to one of our customers or potential customers or dealers, earlier if he had to pick up an order, he didn't know whether the inventory was there, so he used to call up and find out whether the inventory is there, get delivery commitments by when can it be shipped back to the customer. If he has to give the USPs of the product, then he had literature that he used to pick up, and if you've forgotten the literature or if he's running from one customer to another, most of the times possibly our sales team was, the sales head would not like it, slightly underprepared to meet the customer if I have to make an effective sales call. Today when he walks in, sitting in front of the customer, talk to him about anything, he would have your account receivables, your account balances, your credit notes, your monthly offtakes. Everything is online as of now. He can check inventory, he can place an order sitting at his desk, sitting at your desk, and his travel is recorded, his conveyances are auto booked into SAP. So there's a lot of things that have happened. And what we are doing is easing off all paper processes. There should not be any paper, and it should be as automated as we can. So what we would do is, with the same set of sales team, the ability for them to cover more customers, the ability for them to cover more areas geographically, because they are now not bound by the sales offices. So it's how you deploy technology intelligently to do more with less, and that's possibly what your question was. This is one of the examples of that.
True.
Yeah.
What kind of changes do you intend to bring in the IT architecture to address the growing demands?
In terms of an IT architecture, I think there's a, what does the business need? And I'll always come from the business. They want more speed in deployment. They want everything, they have stated it today, they want it deployed yesterday. Which means that gone are the days when I had the capability to architect, do, deploy, test, UAT, etc. So things would move faster on the cloud, where you have a ready-made architecture, ready-made infrastructure which is available, and you go and pay as you use. You start small and then you go big, and it gives you that flexibility. So I think more and more non-mission critical applications would continue to get deployed on the cloud, and there are a lot of applications that we have today which are deployed on the cloud as well. So I see one, that organizations will continue to move on that path, which would require a change in an architecture internally as well, to do a single sign-on with those applications, to ability to bring them on the same cloud as far as the end user is concerned. He doesn't care as to where they are. So there would be technology challenges. There would be, once the organization goes global, you would have, I have so many applications that are not centrally enabled, if I can use that term, which means users log in separately into those set of applications. So we need to bring in single sign-on, we need to bring in global identity management and federated identity management, and all those concepts would now need to come in, at least in our architecture to start with.
So my last question.
Sure.
What resources go into innovation? What innovations do you intend to bring in the next 1 year?
To start with, there is a, when we did a 2016 mission and vision exercise, it's called 6 billion by 2016. There is one very strong pillar which is on innovation. So it's supported by 4 pillars, out of which one is innovation. The business understands that if we have to reach the given targets, then we have to work very differently from the way that we are working today. All business processes are being looked at in terms of innovation. I'm not only talking from an IT perspective, but whether it's sales, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's supply chain, there are IT stroke relevant business process innovations that are happening all across. We have created a platform which is called Innovation Platform internally. There's an application which is there, which is a global application for all of them to give their ideas. So ideation is started internally. Based on the ideation, there are numerous rewards. We're creating a platform internally which would, over a period of time, move externally and will be an external platform for innovation awards globally. So the emphasis is there on innovation appropriately. It is now started, we have started seeing the seeds of it happening in sales, manufacturing and supply chain. From an IT perspective, IT is about innovating to give more with less, as we rightly pointed out. So we'll continue to do that given whatever technologies come and are relevant at that point of time. So I think it's a very, very strong component of how we want to take Apollo Tyres forward towards its next journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.